Thank you so much, gentlemen and ladies of the media. What we have today is, let me start that open club. We are inviting you today. This is the 10th time in less than 6 months. We are converging for this important media briefing. Record that on 25th December we assembled you here and ourselves to talk about the state of democracy in Nigeria prior to the 2023 general elections. And on 19th, that one was specifically focused on INEC and is 2023 midway. And on 19th of February, we convert you guys and ourselves again in furtherance of the final touch regarding the 2023. Okay. Regarding the cowboys and another. So regarding the 2023 election, which we are conducted, and all of us saw what happened, the elections, prior to the elections, and the justifications associated with our election advocacy. So now we are bringing you people and all of us together again. For purpose of this time around, we are going to talk about a world-class database on the southeast, specifically Imo State. A lot have happened in Imo State in the past 29 months. Or January 2021 to this particular month being May 2023. So today we are here for purpose of presenting or unveiling a world-class report or database concerning what is happening in Imo. Let's have one house. It is a settled principle in the field of criminology and the law that when a despicable act is perpetrated, or a crime, or a heinous crime is perpetrated, and it is not investigated and documented, then in the eyes of the two field of study, no crime has been committed and no perpetrator identified, as well as the victims of the crime said to have been committed. So in line with this, and as professionals in the two fields, we cannot fold our hands and allow only media reportage of what is happening in Imo, which is a case study of what is happening in the southeast. And that is why today we are unveiling a special research and investigative report on the goings on in Imo State. This time around, we are focusing strictly on grisly and egregious human rights abuses and violations in the past 29 months in Imo State. And what we are trying to do is to having critically look at various reports, media reports, and so on and so forth, about killings, house burnings, this, that, in Imo State. We saw a vacuum created, and that vacuum is certain critical questions have not gotten answers. I have always said that the conscience of every society is the media and the civil society organizations. A society where only media functions and without the effort or complementary hands of the civil society organization, various civil society organizations, then that society runs the high risk of being transformed into dictatorship and tyranny. That explains why Cameroon and other countries are today function today as fully transformed dictatorial and tyrannical society. So that's what we are doing today. So we don't want to allow that situation to take place. We as members of leading civil society organizations must be nihilistic and remain strong, unpurchasable, and uncompromising in matters like this. And that is why we have taken the pen to take a critical study of what is going on in Imo State. Who are those killing who in Imo State? Who are those people being killed in Imo State? And why are they being killed? And when and how are they being killed? Properties are being burned down in Imo State, destroyed, or pillaged, or looted in Imo State. Who are the owners of those properties? Is it correct in the eyes of the law for properties that belong to defenseless civilians to be burned down or destroyed or pillaged or looted? Under what circumstances? What are the provisions of the law or legal framework about what is going on in Imo State? So totality of this is what the Inter-Society Study has taken a critical look at. And today we are unveiling a report that is 33 pages, a critical report, a report that is rested within the confines of empiricism, a report that will be very difficult to be challenged negatively or criticized, intellectually criticized negatively. So this report has all the things you need to know about what is going on in Imo. So 33 pages in all, with 6 pages imbued as the executive summary. So what we are going to do is to look at the 6 pages, then touch few others contained in other pages. The title of this report is "In 29 Months," that is January 2021 to May 2023, a period of 29 months under Uzodinma government. Security forces and allied militias killed 900 unarmed citizens, wounded 700, arbitrarily arrested 3,500, extorted and freed 1,400, disappeared 300, burned down 1,200 civilian homes, displaced their 30,000 owners, and forced 500,000 citizens in active age bracket to flee to escape being shot and killed, or abducted and disappeared in security custody. The number 2 is for state actors, armed state actors, the police, the army, DSS, what have you. Then second one has to do with armed non-state actors, like Fulani, Jihadists, Counterfeit, Agitators, death squad, street criminal, violent criminal entities, etc. They have been found to have jointly killed not less than 700, including 400 killed in captivity and 300 killed in open shooting, and abducted 900 others. This is the situation, the summation of the situation, the dicey situation, security situation of human rights reform in Imo. So if you look at under the executive summary, 1,500, a total of 3,500 people, civilian, unarmed. The essence of this press conference is open our eyes because nobody knows it all. And in most cases, media practitioners do not know what it means to say somebody is an unarmed or defenseless and somebody is armed. And sometimes some media guys will highlight or give a kind of reportorial prominence to policemen killed, soldiers killed, as killing civilians or defenseless, and defenseless others are a routine and a norm. It is not true. Within the context of international law, in any situation of armed conflict or armed violence, the casualties related to emanating from or arising from fighting parties are not technically counted. That's the reason why they say you differentiate between a defenseless civilian, a defenseless citizen or an armed citizen, and somebody another person that is regimented, somebody who is armed, whether he belongs to state actor armed entities or non-state actor armed entities. These are technicalities that we need to know. Very, very technical. In most cases, we tend to ignore them. I remember sometimes in 2020 or 2021, there was an attack, military attack at Owerri. And somebody told me and said, comrade, do you realize, a respected media practitioner for that matter, do you realize what we are talking about? A DPO was killed. Do you know what it means to kill a DPO? I said, DPO was killed? I said, what is the position of the law, international law, since you are lecturing me? Every life lost is condemnable. Every life lost is condemnable. But in the eyes of the international law, that is why the international law outline laws of war, laws of international conflict. And in the context of international conflict, we have interstate and intra. The international law specify that. They say, just like misunderstanding, the law is that misunderstanding is inevitable. When two things start to relate, misunderstanding becomes inevitable. That is to say, one day they will misunderstand. Even an individual can misunderstand herself or himself. And when that kind of situation occurs and it gets to aggravating situation, we can now have what we call suicide, self-emulation, and what have you, post-traumatic stress disorder, and things like that. So it is inevitable. But what the theorists are saying is the handling style, that a misunderstanding can be constructively transformed or destructively transformed, or constructively or transformatively, constructively transformed. So the handling style is the bone of contention and not the misunderstanding, because it is deriving from the womb. When a woman is pregnant and the child at a point is not kicking, then something is wrong. And when the child starts kicking, the child has started protesting, and so on and so forth. So we must have to know the availability of these technical provisions under the international law. So in Imo State, what the angle we are coming from is who are those killing? From the angle I have explained, there are two categories of killers in Imo. Two major categories. The armed state actors. I hope you know what we mean by armed state actors. And armed non-state actors. And in this report, we identify the armed non-state actors, their number to 8 of them. The armed non-state actors killing people in Imo State are 8 in number. As simple as that. Then you now have armed state actors. The army, the police, STS, anti-cultism, IRT, name them. Bunkering, what have you? These are these squad have been identified empirically as being involved in the killings in Imo. So that's what this report tends to. So now 3,500, because from the point of suspicion to the point of arrest, investigation, indictment, prosecution, and what have you, sentencing, they are all thoroughly examinable under the law. And the law also made us understand that the status of a criminal is internationally standardized. Who is a criminal? So when you begin to say, oh, because this man is an Igbo man, is a criminal, that is what we call class criminalization. And it's very internationally abominable. When you begin to say, oh, this woman is from Ikwele in River State, they are now hunting her because she is from Ikwele. And that's what we call ethnic profiling, forced labeling, and what have you. And our reports have been able to identify all these things. So 3,500 people unarmed. The law is very clear on how to handle unarmed. For instance, when you arrest somebody unarmed and take the person into the custody, if you kill the person here, it becomes unlawful execution. But here it is done with utmost alacrity. Policemen kill and so on and so forth, anyhow, with reckless abandon and with impunity. That's what we are witnessing in Imo State and by extension the Southeast. So 3,500 people were arrested in 29 months in Imo State, at least conservatively speaking. And out of these 3,500, we have 1,400 of them as those that were heavily extorted before being freed. If you go through the document, you will see the evidence or pieces of evidence. Meanwhile, as we are rolling out this report, you can see the highlights there, some of the highlights. They are all there. They are newsworthy. So having said that, so let's then turn to page 2. You will see armed state actors killings and burnings, displaced 30,000 and the first 500,000 to flee. These 500,000 people are people in active age bracket. They are fled Imo. They no longer come back to Imo. That's what the killings in Imo State. And the 30,000 have also been displaced. People chased out of their homes. Innocent people chased out of their homes. Then, under this, you have the burning, the details about the burning of 1,200 civilian homes in Imo State in 29 months. Then another one, families no longer bury their dead in Imo. I remember in Imo State, we investigated and found out that approximately 80 communities in at least 20 of the state 27 local government areas are worst hit. Their names are here in the report, so that we save time. So, I think we have to look back to me. Okay. So, now, families no longer bury their dead in Imo. I don't know if you are aware that funerals in Imo State are now being organized in urban centers. In Onitsha, in Owerri, in Enugu, in Port Harcourt. So when people die, they will smuggle those people, they will hire third party and pay the third party. Then the third party will facilitate burial